never been. Why the fuck can you love me like you're supposed to? 'Cause you should never
Herring.
Welcome back, Lelanders, to a new episode of Entropia content. No, it's been a while. Who was it? Euros messaged me and he's like, man, you've been gone for almost 60 days. What the hell have you been doing? Yeah, just to give everyone updates, what I've been doing, what's been going on with video game, my YouTube channel, work, life in general. Yeah, and let's get down to the big gaming news in Entropia. Yesterday, sorry anyone who is bidding against me, but we were bidding for a new Shopkeeper pad, and it was one that looked really nice. So instead of just like doing small bids, I just went for the full buyout. And I think it actually has arrived. Let me check. Why does it keep putting these in here? I turned those off. You son of a whore! Not that there's anything wrong with that. Alright, let's see. What do we got for Shopkeeper news? Our postal service items have arrived. Sweet. Alright, let's check out the bidding process. Sorry, Marxus and Vincent and ID Christian. Everyone was placing small bids to try to get the Shopkeeper. And I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm just buying the sucker out. No way. If anyone was watching the previous episodes, I've been trying to save up for a Shopkeeper for like a year in Entropia, doing all my different crafting tricks and whatnot to get enough money saved. And lo and behold, before I left the game for my big break, they were selling for around 6,000. So I was like, oh fuck, I have nowhere near enough. But thankfully when I came back, the price had dropped to within my price range. So let's go pick up the Shopkeeper. I paid the extra $2 to get it delivered. I probably should have just flew to Calypso, but I'm a little bit wasteful these days. Oh, there it is. Sweet Lord. No, we do got the Shopkeeper. Thank God. Alright, so today's episode will kind of be a little bit of a reorganization episode. What the fuck's going on? Did I just put it in my inventory or I didn't? There we go. Yeah, I had the wrong category. That's good. Alright, so a big shout out to everyone who's been shopping at my shops while I was gone. I think Raven Jade was the last person who bought something, so big shout out to her. Thanks again. I know I haven't got any sales for a long time. Basically, my shops have been ignored for a long time. So let's do a renovation of my shop. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Shopkeeper out and sell the luxurious fountain. As much as it was taking up lots of room here and looks kind of neat, I think it's a little overcluttered. Could be just because I'm not high as fuck. Now, I've also been doing the Sober October, and for weed, I even started it a month early. So, what is it? I haven't had any weed. What's the month before September? August. Yeah, so August was the last time I vaporized or ingested or taken any weed of any type. I figured that, yeah, harvest season's coming up, and gonna get a new batch of weed, and I'm probably gonna vaporize way too much for a long time, so I needed to rinse some of it out of my system, try to rebalance the chemical imbalances, and so far so good. It helped my memory a little bit. Actually, for the first week or even two, my memory just tanked. So I don't know if anyone's wondering, like, hey, if I quit weed, will my memory all of a sudden get a lot better? For me, not so much. It actually got much worse for a week or two, and then it finally started to level out again. So that was nice. Oh, fuck, man. I'm going to have to pick up everything. Well, that's good. My shop is overdue for a good renovation. Yeah, so thanks to everyone who's been messaging me, wondering what's going on, inviting me to come back to play Entropia. I know I've missed Entropia a lot. Playing that Clone Evolution game too much, and I'm actually getting really sick of it. Not that I'm gonna quit Clone Evolution because I invested $100 into it, and I really do got some fun things that I want to finish. But I've gotten close to beating the game now, so well, not beating it, but getting near the end of the game. It's one of those never-ending games, so really you can only get so close to the end. You can't really beat the game, but anywho, yeah. So that's what's happening. Gonna be especially this winter. Gonna be doing way more Entropia content, less Clone Evolution stuff. Well, maybe not less, probably the same amount of Clone Evolution stuff, but we're gonna sprinkle in some more actual Entropia. Because God, man, I know Entropia, not really much has changed in the game since I left. I came back to check to see what was new, and there wasn't really anything. But I'm not really disappointed with that, because I know they're working on the new game engine, so I figure, hey, the new game engine is coming, then we shouldn't have to worry too much about new content. Soon there's going to be so much new content we won't know what to do with ourselves. Alright, so there's some recycle prints going for cheap on Calypso, or on Rocktropia. See what the price is. Holy fuck, half price. Oh, there's still 2 hours left, so... Now, I did talk to some Entropia players about coming on the show as guests to talk, and so far we've got Ken lined up to come on the show. I want to ask him about a whole bunch of Entropia stuff, and life stuff in general, so should be a fun episode. I was going to wait to do the next Entropia recording till I had time to organize what day and time with Ken, but I figured we got so many updates, we'll just do another show solo, or if anyone wants to call in. We got the YouTube, or not YouTube, Skype and Discord ready if anyone wants to call in. I've actually sorted out a number of my computer issues again. I know, I jinxed it. Everything's gonna fucking break. But yeah, no, I managed to sort out problems with my microphone, so now I can actually talk at the same level as guests. That was fucking annoying before. What I found out was Windows 10 has like extra microphone settings buried well within the settings, so that if you don't find it, your microphone's turned down to like 80%. Fucking sons of bitches. So yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. But no, I managed to turn it back up to full, so we're good to go, microphone volume wise. I even got the beard going for a microphone holder, and it's working pretty good. Sometimes I do get a bit too much interference doing it, but hey, whatever works for now. Right, so if anyone's noticed, FOMA shops have been on the auction lately. I thought that was neat. I'm kind of surprised because Entropia is getting the whole new engine. So it's like, there could be players just ditching everything, going, fuck it, I don't want to try the new engine. But I was thinking I would keep all the shops personally, because you never know. The new engine might cause like the biggest spike of new players we've ever seen in the game's history. So it is risky keeping it. Maybe everyone will quit, or it could be hugely profitable if a whole shitload of people join the game. If I had to guess, we're looking at a whole shitload of people joining the game. Why? Because they're adding cell phone support to play the full version game on your phone. None of this like Rock, or what was that other Roller Coaster Tycoon, or no, Entropia Tycoon, or whatever the app was, how you could just use the auction, look at your items in storage. Apparently the new engine is going to be able to run the full game on cell phones. So that'd be pretty wild. That's like how many people have cell phones in the game, or in the world, that might actually want to play the game. Let's see. I'll just ask Google right now. How many cell phone gamers are in the world? Alright, so mobile gamers, there's 2.2 billion mobile gamers. Alright, let's check that compared to PC gamers. How many PC gamers in the world?
According to Statista, in 2020, there were an estimated
Yeah,
1.75
bullshit.
billion
It says that there's
PC gamers
1.75
worldwide,
billion
up from
PC
1.5 billion
gamers.
PC gaming users
But I
in the
really doubt
previous
that
year.
includes top-of-the-line PCs. Let's try that. How many high-end PC gamers in the world?
According to Statista, in 2020, there were an estimated 1.75 billion
Here it
PC
says,
gamers worldwide,
according to
up from
Nvidia,
1.5
there's
billion
about
PC gaming users in the
333
previous
million
year.
good computer gamers that actually have a game, or a computer that can play games good. So we're looking at the difference of a player base pooled out of 333 million compared to 2.2 billion. I know some people might argue that it's probably going to take a high-end cell phone to run the game. So yeah, that could be another argument there. But yeah, I'm still looking at that as like, hey, if you wanted to sell all your shit off before then, I don't know if that's really a great idea, but oh, we got a tower shop. We got FOMA shops. It's nice to see. I was wondering what dropped the price on Shopkeepers, and I was thinking maybe they dropped because there were so many people that were soaking all their money into other things, like maybe buying off other shops. Alright, we do got a viewer that tuned in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you want to help the show with a like or call in to get us even more likes, that'd be great. Now I noticed I was talking to a few other Entropians, like watching their streams. Speaking of, Bonnie just had an anniversary for her 10-year anniversary doing warp flights in space. So congratulations to Bonnie. If anyone hasn't heard about Bonnie, which I'm sure you have if you play Entropia, yeah, she's one of the nicest players around, dedicated a lot of her life to doing streams, so really appreciate that. Big shout out to Bonnie. I know how life consuming it can be to do a daily stream. I only did it for like 6 months, and yeah, it was very time consuming. But hey, it's something you love doing, why not? Twin Peaks Mall Shop, floor 111. Is that... Oh, for a second I thought it was 5,000 ped. No, that's 50,000 ped. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. That's pretty expensive. I don't know. Back when I was buying and reselling shops, fuck man, you could get a mall shop for like, I don't know, 5,000-6,000 ped. Because most people realize that the mall shops, as neat as they are, they hardly ever get any sales. So unless you advertise the shit out of it, you're actually better off just buying deeds and collecting the money from that. Unless you have really good sales. Alright, if anyone's wondering how my deeds and stuff have been going, let's check that out. My user shop income. I think this was the last sale. So yeah, big shout out to Raven Jade. I think she purchased something at the shop back in September. And yeah, that's a long time since my last sale. So if anyone wants to help out the show, they can always swing by my shops. I got the FOMA shop 27, Crunk stall number 2. Yeah, and I got items starting at just like a ped, so Project Entropia dollar. That's my main thing when I hope they switch the game over to a new currency to signify the change to the new game engine. For God's sakes, name it something other than fucking ped. I don't know how many times you can say the word ped and your neighbors are here and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? He wants more ped? What kind of sicko is he? Alright, so anyways, Greek, we got 9 ped, or Project Entropia dollars. Man, that's a shit show. And Crystal Palace Station. I've been checking to see the market, to see if Greece sold out of their deeds. No, they still have shitloads for sale. I don't know. The whole deed situation is a shit show right now, I'm pretty sure. Let me check the auction. I don't know. How's the price been going on deeds lately? Arcadia Moon deeds. They're up a little. They're roughly 35 for a long time, up to 39. Arcadia Underground deeds. I remember when these were pretty pricey. Holy fucking son of a whore. Yeah, those have been going up really a lot. I remember I used to buy and sell them for 80. So now that they're up to 120, fuck, they've almost doubled. Alright, so let's check Calypso land deeds. Trying to think, what did I sell my Calypso land deeds? Was it 2,000? Fuck, now they're up to 3,000. Yeah, congratulations to everyone who's been buying and reselling deeds and making some profits. I know I always argue about that with people. They're like, oh god, Entropia is impossible to make any money. It's like, what are you, an idiot? It's like, man, the fucking deeds in this game, it's so easy to make money. You just buy them and collect it. What more do you want? Someone have to give you like a welfare check and deliver it to your fucking house in order for you to be happy that it's easy? It's like, God. I don't know. Sorry to pick on people on welfare. I know our family was in bad situations like that at some points in time. So, yeah, everyone goes through peaks and valleys in life. Dear God. Alright, so I guess we'll go back to setting up the shop. I hate, like, how long has it been and they still haven't fixed this glitch? Like, you click on the guy and it fucking shakes when you're trying to use it. I don't know, like, I hate fucking shakes. It makes me dizzy, so could be just post-concussion syndrome still kicking, but I'm pretty sure anyone would find that annoying. They should really fix that so it fucking actually works properly. Has anyone heard any news from Neverdie? Has he still been gone for, like, I don't know how many years now? I know Halloween's coming up, so it'd be nice if he made a comeback for Halloween and released the gift. I don't know if anyone heard what happened in the whole, like, Neverdie leaving Entropia. Him and Doc, or whoever it is that helps him, were working tirelessly to make a really cool Halloween gift. And then right when they added it to the patch and went to release it, the game ended up nerfing it, saying that they weren't allowed to release it because it was just too good of an item. So I'm pretty sure that was like the final straw, and Neverdie just quit the game. I don't know, let's check my friends list. When has Neverdie last been back? I'm hoping he still periodically comes in to check. Oh yeah, it doesn't even show him, right? Yeah, let's see how long it's been since Beamer's been gone. I don't even want to check that, but I know people have been asking me to like contact Beamer's family and make sure his whole account doesn't go to back to Entropia, because he had fucking shitloads of money in it. But yeah, it just says plus 100 days. Now he's really been gone for, I don't know, since 2 years ago, so who knows, they might have already taken all of his items. Now I just didn't have the guts to do it. It felt so weird to like call someone or like contact his family and be like, yo, you should check online how much your family member was wasting in this game and try to get some of the money back. Because I'm pretty sure his family is already well off, so they wouldn't really care about what money he lost in Entropia. I don't know, and for me it would be just too much of a temptation to like take the items. I don't want to like loot my friend's dead body, so I don't know, if they gave me the passwords, I was thinking like I could try to sell the items for them and then give them cash back, but still I was thinking their family probably doesn't even need the money, so like why the hell would they care about some game items? I figure what's done is done. If Beamer wanted his money and items saved in the game, he would have gave me the password. He actually said he was going to give me his password in case he died, but he never did. So I figured probably he just changed his mind and let his account go back to Entropia, which is kind of nice in a way too. I'm sure the game would appreciate if players just gave all the items back to them, because then it doesn't really help them much on the books, but really if every player did that at once and just gave all their money back to Entropia, they'd probably be super happy, because then they wouldn't have to pay it out to anyone. Now, if anyone's wondering how advanced player of Beamer was, he like almost, I can't remember what his skill was in hunting, but it was ridiculous. Like he had so many skill points for hunting. Like he was literally depositing like $100 a day sometimes, like $100 US. So yeah, he was like a fucking uber hunter, and he did it for like decades, or I guess since the beginning of when Entropia started. The only issue is he lost his passwords at some point, so he actually did have 2 accounts going. He finally remembered his old password, so he had 2 accounts going with like really high hunting stats. Oh yeah, and he bought shitloads of deeds. So yeah, so his accounts are just loaded with deeds and that. So I guess I shouldn't talk too much about what he had in case hackers try to hack him. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe I'll get the guts to contact his family and tell them like, hey man, your grandfather was like an avid video game player, and he deposited shitloads of money into a game that you could get some of the money back. Hopefully, unless Entropia's already taken it. I'm just going to take a tour to see if there's any AI. I haven't done any hunting in months, so who knows? Maybe they'll give me a nice loot. Shocker if they did. Holy shit, we're up to 3 viewers already. Thanks, everyone. Oh, there's some rocks. I think I saw rocks on the ground. Did I? Did anyone else see those rocks? You got your eye open for rock? Fuck, man. It's so hard to see. Yeah, so what was the other stuff in life in general? My uncle's health has been up and down. Some days he's like, oh, there's the rock. Burkite. Some days he's almost like coherent, where he can talk to him. He'll talk back. he's obviously, his physical health has declined to the point where he really can't move his body at all anymore. He hasn't actually stood up on his own for over a year, I'd say now. But thankfully, he's still fighting through it. Every once in a while, he gets good days where he can communicate again. Other days, he seems like just a vegetable, which is really sad. But no, I'm still helping him. So I figure my human rights are still all gone. I don't know if anyone wants the details of my health situation. But after my my work accident, I started to develop heart issues where someone like of course the insurance agencies arguing that has nothing to do with the accident, but I never had these heart issues before the accident. And basically what happened when I was doing my training, like rehab exercises, I started to get severe chest pains and like erratic heartbeats to the point where I was like collapsing to the ground and shit. So yeah, a few times that happened. I was like, fuck it, man, I gotta go to the doctor and get this checked out. And yeah, they did the heart tests on me. What is it, the EKG and stuff? And it all came back good. They said that I have like the heart of an athlete or whatever, and that it's super strong, so I shouldn't have to be worrying. But my only issue was, yeah, getting erratic heartbeats and stuff. And I don't know if anyone's had erratic heartbeats before, but it fucking sucks, right? So yeah, so thankfully most cases it's gone. Like only if I push my workouts ridiculously does it actually start flaring up again. But even my doctor's like, hey, until they get this heart issues worked out with these things, that you might want to just like keep yourself healthy in the meantime, isolate. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. Just like isolating most of the time, other than going into work and looking after my uncle. So really the whole socialization or social isolation thing is still continuing since, for me, when has it been going since? I think it was August of 2018. So I haven't really hung out with any other people in like crowds or stores or parties or anything since 2018. So it's been going on a while now. But thankfully, yeah, at one point I started to get down in the dumps again because I'm like, shit, man, depression's starting to come back. This isolation's getting to me. But I talked to my counselor and all that actually went really well. I was kind of surprised when I contacted my doctor and counselor to speak to them, how anti-lockdown they were. So I was like, oh, thank God, it's not just me. No, what they were saying is they realized too that the lockdowns have been like killing tens of thousands of people in our province like every month. And it's like, holy shit, like you look at the death toll from the lockdowns and it's drastically higher than the virus. So all this idea that lockdowns, well, I get it, lockdowns are supposed to help, it's good intentions, but it's a fucking nightmare. And even like the doctors and counselors, like, yeah, my counselor was saying, like, I asked her, I'm like, so how's it been going at your office? Are you like flooded with calls and talking to people about dead relatives from the virus and shit? She's like, oh God, no. She's like, the majority of people that have been dying of the virus are all like seniors and everyone's expecting them to be dying anytime. So there's no like huge catastrophe of people depressed from that. But she's like, oh God, are people ever calling me about the lockdowns? She's like, there's, yeah, like thousands of people are losing their livelihoods and all their friends and family. People are going through severe depression and addictions. It's a fucking shit show. And she's like, yeah, and the worst part of it, she's not even allowed to visit her clients. So she's like, yeah, like when someone's like super depressed about the lockdowns, they're not even allowed to go see their fucking counselor in person. She has to talk to them over the phone. Like they closed the doctor's office down, and then they, what did they do? Oh yeah, they turned it into a clinic for giving these. So I don't even have a doctor's office to go to anymore, which is kind of interesting. It almost seems like everything the government is doing, hopefully, is just good intentions that have completely backfired, paved the road to hell. But other than that, like, yeah, it almost seems like sinister. Like we literally have drug cartels that are paying the government off to like ruin people's lives to sell their products. And I get it that the product is helping some people, but you gotta wonder like the long-term effects of this. And not to mention, what is the government going to force next? If all of a sudden they have it on the playbook where, hey, we can just force shit. Hey, Mohammed, how's it going? Yeah, welcome. This is a different game. If you're wondering why the graphics look so shitty, it's because it's a 20-year-old game. But they also have a new engine coming out. So we're going to get like a huge graphic update. And, oh yeah, and I have the graphics turned to the lowest settings. because for me it just runs, well, I shouldn't say on this computer, I can run it on the higher settings now, but for me it just makes the game easier to play, because I get a little bit, my post or PCS makes it hard for me to look at like really complex images. So if I can make everything look more basic, it actually helps me play the game without getting sore. Alright, so yeah, I'll show Mohammed. He hasn't seen the game before. This is my shop in the game, and this is like a real money game. So everything that I have for sale in my shop, like see, this thing costs 48 Project Entropia dollars. If someone buys it, I actually get this money, and this is real money. So it's like if you change the decimal point one place, so this is selling for $4.81 US. So these items actually have real money value. And if you want to buy one of these shops and sell stuff to other players, it's usually super expensive. But we'll cover that a little bit today. One of the new things I just bought to sell items in my shop is this. It's a Shopkeeper. So obviously with my shop I can already put items for sale, but there's some items that are too big or too complex to put for sale. So you have to buy a Shopkeeper. And this Shopkeeper cost me, what is it? Holy fuck, yeah, I just spent $400 US on this Shopkeeper. $460 US. So this thing costs more than a fucking PS5, for God's sakes. But yeah, it's nice. Once I get this oh wait, I know what I'm going to do with this Shopkeeper. I was going to put it there, but I want to get my throne set up properly again. So let's get my throne all nice and set up. Now what I like to do is like not only have a shop, but sort of treat it like an apartment where I'll like set it up to look nice too. Alright, let's go get a table. Yeah, and if you're wondering, can you make money in this game playing it? Yeah, you can buy and sell items. When you hunt creatures and you go mining, it's like the fucking lottery. So in most cases, you're just losing. And if you get lucky, you'll fucking hit a jackpot. And the jackpots are very slim to none, sadly. So don't get your hopes up that you're just going to like rake in the money if you start playing this game. Other than if you can buy shares. This game actually sells shares. So you can like buy shares of a casino sort of thing. Let's check how much the shares cost so Mohammed can get an idea. Estates, deeds, there we are. See, these are moon shares. So anything that happens on the moon, you get a cut of it. Here's in our more moon deeds. Underground. This is like an underground area on a planet called Arcadia. You can buy shares of those. Yeah, how much are the shares? This one share is like $13 for these. One share of these is like, I mean, bucks in real US dollars. Yeah, these are only $3 a share, or 39 game dollars. Sadly, yeah, 20-year-old game. It's funny, like, most people might think, like, who the hell is still playing this game after 20 years? It's one of the most dedicated game communities ever. Sort of like how World of Warcraft has a big community that plays it. So yeah, there's still like shitloads of people that played this game, and it had a huge boom of population during the lockdowns. Because you can imagine, everyone was stuck inside, so they started playing it more. If you want to check out a share that's really popular, this one's called Calypso shares, and Calypso's the main planet in the game. Surprisingly, this game is fucking giant. Like, to fly from one end of the game to the other, it can take like almost a whole day. Like if you have a spaceship and you fly in space at a normal rate, not warp speeds. So they got a whole bunch of different planets. And Calypso's the most popular planet, and shares of it sell for $300 each share. Oh wait, I was thinking, let me check out the price of this. Let's go. Yeah, so that's when these shares first launched. I think what happened when I was buying these shares, I bought a whole bunch of them for $900, which is basically $90. And I'm trying to remember, how much did I sell out at? It was either at 2,000 I sold out or 4,000. I'm pretty sure it wasn't 4,000. But anyways, so yeah, I bought like 30 shares and they like doubled or tripled in value, and then I resold them, and I was so happy that I made money. But in hindsight, I invested $2,000 of my own money, and that was when Bitcoin was worth like pennies. So I was like, fuck man, if I would have bought Bitcoin instead with the $2,000, I'd be like a multimillionaire. But I try to look at it like, hey, if I became a super rich multimillionaire, I probably would have ate so much fried chicken, probably would have got addicted to harder drugs and strippers, and it probably would have been the disaster of my life anyways. So I'll try to look at it as like, hey, despite not becoming a multimillionaire, at least I'm still alive and have my health to a certain degree. So yeah, if you want to buy shares of these, they have weekly payouts. Some of them have daily payouts. Here's some more shares that you can get. So they basically have shares for Ancient Greece, Crystal Palace. Oh yeah, and there is like one planet that's owned by another Muslim guy, and I think, what did he call it, Tulan or whatever, and he tried to like keep it like some of the rules for like the Muslim religion are actually on his planet, like you're not allowed to bring the strippers there and stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of neat. Like, I guess more, you can have like a planet for everything. There's a planet for rock and roll, there's a planet for sci-fi. You can tell probably that I'm on the planet for rock and roll. Well, I guess you might not be able to tell, but yeah, the rock and roll planet or horror planet is my favorite planet, so that's where I usually hang out. Yeah, and the other way I look at not getting rich off Bitcoin is when I played Entropia instead. I actually made a lot of good friends. Like, my mentor was from Entropia, so I would have never met him if I would have invested in Bitcoin instead. So that's how I try to look at it. There's always like mistakes that you'll make in life and try to curse that, oh, I should have did this or I should have done that, but hey, sometimes things work out that way for a reason. That's how I try to look at it. No, and if you want to see some cool videos about this game, I was actually a celebrity in it for the game for a while, because there's a company that made a video about it. Here, let me show the video in case you want to watch it. Not to promote myself, but it is my biggest achievement ever in video gaming, is I got featured in the video. So that's actually what helped my channel skyrocket quite a bit too, because they helped me reach the 1,000 subs. Yeah, because they actually put my channel in the description. People Makes Games Entropia. Wow, do I ever look skinny in that video? Now, if anyone's been wondering how my weight loss has been going. Alright, so let's just show this so I don't actually get copyright striked or anything. So this is the game. It's called, or the video, by People Makes Games. It says, can you really get rich in the world's only cash-based MMO? So I was actually featured in this. Ah, fuck, I'm logged out. What the hell? Surprised I can do a live stream when I'm logged out. That's weird. Alright, so anyways. So yeah, I got featured in this, and they show how like some of the items, see these screenshots, they're showing what items sold for real money. The biggest one was like a planet that sold for, what, 6 million? And then there was a moon that sold for 600,000. There's different items that sold for like 150,000. An egg sold for 70,000. So if you want to watch a cool video after the stream, of course, yeah, you can check out that video. It's called People Makes Games. Can you really get rich on the world's only MMO? I just put People Makes Games in Entropia, and it finds it pretty quick. And I did a video bragging how I was featured in it. But yeah, it didn't get near as many views. You can see their video got like 1.3 million. Mine got less than 100. Now, I was famous for the mankini. If anyone hasn't heard about it, there was a bikini for guys that was added to the game, and I was like the expert at it for a while, quote unquote. Now, I was trying to make them and make some money off of it, but yeah, that video was over a year ago, so when I talked to people about it, even in Entropia, they're like, mankini, what the hell are you talking about? So yeah, it's pretty much old news. Yeah, but if you want to see the graphics souped up, here, let me go to let me show the graphics a little bit better. I'll turn it up briefly just so you can get an idea that actually this game had top of the line graphics for quite a while. It just looks shitty right now because I got it turned down to the lowest setting. Hopefully I don't crash the game while I'm trying to turn up the graphics. Alright, let's go right to high so we can see what it looks like. So you can see it adds way more grass, more detail, more shadows. I don't know, it actually doesn't look that much better in this part, but a few of the levels actually look really fancy. Yeah, it almost looks not better at all now that I think about it. Oh, fuck, man. Didn't I not set it back to custom? What the fuck? Damn, whore. Not that there's anything wrong with that. God, I changed it to custom and it fucking didn't work. Piece of shit, man. Oh god. Man, this is not going well. I really shouldn't have fucked with the brightness and everything. Damn piece of shit. Why is everything dark now? What the fuck? God, this is so annoying. Oh man, I shouldn't have changed anything. Now I can't fucking see anything. God, for fuck's sakes, man. I can't believe this shit. Oh god. Alright, sorry, I get stressed out by this game because a lot of the fucking shit in it is so unintuitive. Like, why the hell would you have a setting that makes it so dark you can't fucking see anything? God, what is the fucking problem with this game? Alright, well, let's keep it on that for now, and I'll fuck with it later. Sorry to have a meltdown about it, but man, you can tell this game has stressed me out so much over the years that like the slightest thing just makes me flip off the fucking handle. Oh well. Alright, so let's finish setting up some stuff. Oh yeah, and if you want to find out other cool information about this game, look up Never Die. Never Die is like a really cool guy. I know a lot of people hate his guts, but I think he's one of the coolest players in Entropia. He made a shitload of money in the game, so a lot of people got jealous of him, and that's why they hate on him, I think. I know I kind of hated on him a while because he had some wild ideas that I didn't like that he was going to change the game. So I'm sure there's that part of it too. He's also the president of the game, and I think he's been gone from the game for a long time. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I got sidetracked. I was supposed to check. How long has it been since Never Die's been in the game? Oh fuck, how do I check the friends again? It's been so long since I played Entropia, I fucking forget some of this shit. Oh, here it is. Alright, so we'll check, see how long it's been since Never Die's played the game. Now, there's crafting that you can do in this game, and the crafting is basically like a glorified slot machine. I know technically it's not a slot machine, but it's a slot machine. Yeah, Motorhead. Oh, he is still playing. I was thinking that was actually Lemmy's account, but I guess it isn't. Yeah, Never Die's got his thing set, so we can't check how long it's been since he's been gone. If I had to guess, he's been gone for a really long time, because his planet has basically just been abandoned. Which kind of sucked, because man, his planet was really good at one point. Oh well. Yeah, I should really take that chair down from there. Oh yeah, I'll need another chair. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my throne. I'm going to set up my shopkeeper. Get everything looking good in the shop again. Normally I like to set up a throne so that people can come here and take pictures on a throne if they want. I know some people like to take selfies and shit, so I figured, hey, throne selfie, or throne for selfies. Fuck's sakes, can't even put the rug down? Why not? It's too far out. Too far out, man. Alright, fuck it. We won't even bother putting the rug. It's kind of a waste anyways. What ideally I'd like to do is get 2 shopkeepers. So I can have one on either side of me to make it look more symmetrical, but like a nice set of boobs. But no. Right now I only have one, so yeah, that's what we're going to have for now is one. Ooh, I can put the shopkeeper way out. That's cool. Far out, man. Alright, so now I got a babe in a bikini. So I was hoping to get a girl with longer hair. Kind of got the feminist look going here. But to be honest, I don't really mind women that have a shaved head or short hair, because they always have the options of putting on wigs. Like, wigs is very socially acceptable for women to wear. So, hey, if women want to wear wigs or even have a shaved head, it actually doesn't bother me at all. Especially since we live in the age of, like, parasites, like lice and scabies, and everything's, like, all-time highs. I don't even know if, like, the fucking plagues in the olden days had as much as they do today, but yeah, so if I see a woman that has a shaved head, it's like, it's no big deal to me. A lot less risk of catching lice. Not that I hate lice, like I don't even have hair, so I'm not even really capable of catching it, but yeah. No, luckily beard hair and body hair isn't really big for lice, so if you have like a shaved head, you're really almost immune from it. I don't know, I've caught lice back when I had hair, and it was really annoying. Sometimes it got out of control, even after like just a few weeks of having it, so it's like, yeah. Got to the point where I got sick of doing the permethrin shampoos, and I'm like, fuck it, man, let's just shave my head. Easiest solution. Yeah, not that anyone should be ashamed if they catch it. I know everyone catches stuff. It's part of life, right? Shittiest part of life there is. Alright, so let's see. What do I got in the way of women's clothing? I got a nice top I could put on her. What else do we got? I thought I had some armor for women. Do I? Fuck's sakes, man. Where's my women's armor? Did they take it? I was thinking, did I not log in soon enough that they would start taking my items from Entropia? And it looks like they did. Unless I have it somewhere else. Fuck. Hey, Euros. Welcome back to the chat as well. Yeah, I got some updates, Euros. We bought a shopkeeper yesterday, thanks to you. Because I was like, hey, Euros is right. I haven't logged in a while. I better log in, make sure that they're not stealing all my items. It looks like they did steal some. And yeah, I found that I could afford a shopkeeper. The price came down on a shopkeeper enough that I could buy one. So I bought one, and now I'm setting it up. My plan with the shopkeeper is to get back into the real estate. Because I noticed when I've been making money in Entropia, like actually profiting, my biggest profits came from buying and reselling stuff like deeds and shops and real estate. Sort of like real life, right? If you're a real estate broker in real life, you tend to make more money than people that aren't. So that's what I was figuring. I should really get back into having a shopkeeper and having some actual estates for sale. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm trying to re-pool up my account to get some more money so I can start buying estates to resell. I was thinking too, if anyone has estates that they want me to sell for them, we could try to work something out, although that is very risky. Because I know like a lot of times people are very hesitant to give items to people to sell for them because they could just rip them off. So yeah, maybe we'll stay clear of that for now, but if anyone's got some estates they want to sell me cheap so that I can resell them, that'd be great. Alright, let's get this chair. Or should I leave this chair up here? Nah, let's take it down. Or no, let's just place it better. This is kind of shitty placement. Yeah, so that's one of my latest endeavors in Entropia. We'll try to be able to buy and resell. Oh, fuck, I figured it wouldn't work. Piece of shit. Alright, let's just bring it down here. We don't need a chair up here. Oh, there it worked. I don't know, it is kind of a cheesy place for a chair though. Yeah, let's take it and put it somewhere else. Yeah, so thanks Euros for letting me know that I had to log back into the game soon before all my shit was gone. Hopefully too much of my shit isn't gone. I used to have some women's armor, so I was going to equip her with the armor, and for some reason I don't have it in storage. Let's just not pray, but let's hope that it's actually in one of my other storages. Let's check. And just for a tip, if anyone's playing Entropia and sometimes they get frustrated about losing where they put their items and like what storage, I'll show you how to check it quick. Finishing quick is my specialty. Alright, let's go 74. I'm just trying to calculate the math here. They make you do a math question to check your items. Alright, we'll make it bigger so we can read it. That's what she said. Not the reading part. Alright, nah, that's too big. No, that's definitely what she said. Alright, now let's see here. Well, oh, fuck. I didn't want to make it that big. It's hard to control how big it grows. No, just kidding. I gotta get my mind out of the gutter. The isolation, I'll swear, it's all its fault. It has nothing to do with my normal personality. So if anyone wants to help me reboot some of my actual account, yeah, let's just make it full screen. Like my pet or Project Entropia balance. Here's some items that I have for sale. Pretty much everything's for sale unless there's something that I really want to keep, but I'm not really super attached to any of these items, I don't think, anymore. So, what do I got? I don't even remember what the armor's called, so it's going to make it hard to look it up. Yeah, let's see. What is my account balance showing for all the items? Yeah, so it says I have about 1,800 just in TT value. That's pretty good. I wish I could sort it by armor, eh? That's what I was thinking. Like, they actually did add some sorting features in this. So you can, like, sort it by planet. Oh, there we go. Weapons. Or you can sort it by ped value or Project Entropia, so you can see what's your most expensive item. So yeah, it's nice that they added the sort features. For a while there, they didn't have the sorting feature, so I was always like, fuck, what item do I have that's worth the most? It would take forever to look through all 5,000 of them. Ah, fuck, I'm not going to be able to check. So I'm hoping I got armor somewhere. God, maybe I'll have to... How can you find armor? I'll have to try to figure it out some way. Oh well, I'm not going to be able to figure it out today. Yeah, but for a while I had some pretty cool women's armor and clothing and stuff, and I don't see any of it in storage. I was saving it for when I got my female shopkeeper, and wherever I saved it apparently isn't here. Which fucking sucks, man. Man, why would I take it to another planet? If anything, I had to guess, the game took it back. Because I should have armor here. Why I don't have armor here, I don't know. That is really weird. Why would all my armor be gone? I'm thinking maybe I put it in storage in FOMA. Hopefully that's what it is. Alright, so I guess I'll just leave the girl dressed in a bikini or her underwear for now. Yeah, that's right. I could have swore I had some clothing that I could put on her too. How's the price of the mankinis? Oh, fuck. They're up to 30? And I TT'd a whole bunch of them. Oh, fuck. Hopefully that's just ones that are colored. God damn it. I could have swore that would happen. As soon as I TT'd them, that's when they would go up in fucking price. They were at like 0 for the longest time. Yeah, they definitely spiked in value again. Well, that's interesting. Oh well, I gotta stop trying to focus on everything that's going wrong in the game and just be happy that I'm back in Entropia. It's pretty sweet. Got the Shopkeeper. What do I want to work on next? Oh yeah, let's finish setting up the shop. Yeah, like I should have some more hats and stuff. I know I had female hats and stuff made, and I didn't put them all for sale. Why don't... Yeah, let's get the girl a hat, man, because I don't like her... I shouldn't say I don't like her bald head, but let's put a hat on it. Right, so then it won't matter that she doesn't have any hair. Oh yeah, and if anyone knows, can I take my shopkeeper and change her attributes with like those makeup chairs and stuff? Or is that just for avatars and not for the shopkeepers? Yeah, it'd be nice if like I could give her a haircut or put makeup on her. That'd be kind of neat. Alright, now she's looking better. Now she's got a hat on. Sweet. I'll try not to stare at her butt. I clearly need to get out more. Now, if anyone's wondering the dating situation, I sort of got more into the dating, and then I realized that, fuck, man, I've got no free time at all. So I pretty much, like, stepped away from it. Even though I've got, like, a bunch of girls that all want to hang out and date now, but it's kind of at least boosting my spirits that people want to hang out with me. It's just more me than them now. Alright, let's get this wool back for sale. Did you call? Alright, I'm just doing a recording. Alright, so, yeah, and if Muhammad's still watching, he's wondering how he can get, yeah, 7 days to die in the early days. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The game really looks like a beta game with how old the graphics are now. Thank God they're finally updating everything. Alright, so 102%. God, this shit's worthless. Yeah, so this is how you can set the cost of items. You go to view information, click this button, then you can pick how much you want to sell it for. Obviously, if you put stupidly high prices, then no one will ever buy it. Or unless they feel sorry for you. Right, and if I want to sell stuff in her, I can go like this. I think that's how that works. I can't even remember how to fucking use a shopkeeper. It's been so long since I've had one. What does it say? I thought it was giving me a message explaining why this is... Does anyone remember how to sell stuff in a shopkeeper? I thought I just dragged it there, but it looks like that's not how. What is going on? Why can I not sell stuff in my shopkeeper? Is her TT value too low and that's why I can't? If anyone's had a shopkeeper, you can put it in the chat. What am I doing wrong here? I could have swore there was a way that I could just drag items in or open her items. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Let's try opening the items. What is going on? Why can't I use the shopkeeper? This is so fucked up, man. Do I have to look it up on YouTube, how to sell stuff with the goddamn shopkeeper? This is really annoying. Alright, let's just try a different item. Maybe that was the problem. No. Hold for more options. Pick up, place, view information. This is fucked, man. Why can't I not sell stuff in my shopkeeper? Oh my god, this is fucked. Yeah, one thing I don't like about Entropia is, man, so much of it just doesn't make any sense. Like, a lot of the ways that they used to have everything working perfectly, they change it, so then you can't fucking do the same things you used to do. It makes it really fucking annoying. Oh god, I can't believe I can't figure out how to fucking use my shopkeeper. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe her TT value is too low and I gotta repair her before I can sell stuff. But I'm starting to think that's not the problem. Yeah, this is super annoying. I bought a shopkeeper, want to sell stuff with her, but can't. Why? Because there's no way to figure out how to fucking use the shopkeeper. Oh, I know what it is. I got to be standing here on my shop in order to open the option. Sometimes the options don't work unless you're standing in certain spots. Maybe that's what it is. Let's try that. Oh my fucking god. No. Okay, just try to breathe. Breathe. Not have a fucking nervous breakdown because I can't use my own fucking shopkeeper. Oh man, this is like getting super fucking annoying. Like if I had to rate how much fun I'm having playing this game, it's like a fucking -10 right now. This is not fun. Buying a shopkeeper, not being able to use them. There. Did that work? Oh, there. That's how. I just left click. There we go. Finally. Oh, man. That was close. Ready to quit the game. Now, I was thinking, like, I forgot. You got to click on her. Then it opens up this. I was, like, holding clicking. It's just a single click, not hold clicks. They should almost have, like, a little info button here. Like, how to use the shopkeeper. Click this to do this. Click this to do that. Like, most games that have complex things to do, they actually show you how to fucking do it. Alright, so, yeah, we'll put, what's the market value of this? Holy shit, 140? Alright, so let's try to sell it for 140. I can't remember how much I paid for it, so maybe I should boost it up to 150 just so I don't fucking sell it for less than I paid. Can't even remember. So yeah, if anyone wants to buy a fountain for their shop and help out the show, got one for sale. And if you want me to lower the price, just message me and I'll try to lower it for you. I know I'm usually pretty cheap right off the bat, but I gotta learn to let things go. Now, the disadvantage to selling stuff in shopkeepers, if anyone doesn't know, they do still charge you a tax, and I think it even decays the shopkeeper. Not sure about that. But yeah, so there is fees involved with using a shopkeeper. So just keep that in mind. If you put super cheap items for sale, might not be the greatest idea because you might end up paying more in tax than you actually profited selling it. Or it could be all wrong about that. Alright, so 40, that sounds reasonable. Now really what I'm doing is I'm trying to sell a lot of my shit so that I can have more room or get some more money to get real estate and stuff. So yeah, we'll put a bunch of shit for sale. Now, if anyone's wondering the health situations, I was actually supposed to be going for a colonoscopy within like a week or two. Yeah, I fucking hate tax. But thank God that, now I got some information about from a nurse, and she's like, yeah, you should really check to make sure it isn't just hemorrhoids. So I was, as gross as that sounds, I had to check on the inside to see if it was hemorrhoids, and it turns out it was. So thank God. I know I should probably still go for the colonoscopy to make sure there isn't anything else that was causing the blood, but since I found the hemorrhoids and started a diet change to get rid of hemorrhoids, they went away. So I was like, thank God. If anyone's wondering about what makes hemorrhoids worse, fucking dairy products. That's why I couldn't figure it out. Every time I was eating dairy products, blood like crazy. So I was like, what the fuck? I knew I was allergic to milk, but I didn't think it was that bad of an allergy. Yeah, but so thank God. After I switched to not eating dairy products, no blood ever again. So I was like, thank God. Whew, that was a close call. I was like really worried there for a while. Now, in my family history, like my dad had hemorrhoids so bad that he actually had to get surgery for them. So yeah, there's definitely a family history of them and everything. So I'm a little bit prone to getting them. And I think what it was, I was doing a lot of like super physical activity, which can make it worse. And yeah, a lot of cold. I was swimming in a fucking cold fucking pool. Like, I don't know if anyone noticed this. Like, the government is so full of fucking shit. When they talk about stuff, it's hilarious. Like, they literally tried to sell people in my province on the idea that this was the hottest summer. Meanwhile, if you check the actual data, it's the fucking coldest summer that we've had in like 50 to 70 years, I think. My pool in the backyard was just like ice the whole fucking summer. Even last year, it was a lot warmer. So it's fucking funny that the government always tries to sell this fucking carbon tax. That's what really makes me skeptical of everything the government does, because I know like 99 times out of 100, they're just lying their fucking asses off to try to fucking rip you off, to get like money out of you, to sell you on some fucking new tax, to fucking like force you to buy medications that you don't want. It's like, you sons of bitches, man. I can't fucking stand our government. And if anyone's wondering what happened in the Canadian election, we actually had a vote to get our human rights back, and it was only one candidate to do it, and that candidate got last place. So everyone just fucking took our human rights and fucking flushed them down the toilet. Fucking Canada, man, I swear to God. It's got, well, I shouldn't say that they were that dumb when it came to voting. I think, what was it, 70% of the votes were to get Justin Trudeau out of office, and he got 30%, and he still gets to keep office. So I'm like, if you want to know a corrupt fucking government system, check out Canada. The candidate only needs 30% of the fucking votes in order to stay in office. Like, how fucking sickening is that, right? Oh, God. Well, I look at Justin and compare him to the alternatives. He was actually still the best out of all of the fucking alternative choices, other than the one for human rights. But even the human rights guy, rightfully so, he was a real loser. So, like, it almost seemed like a fucking fix, right? Like, you take the one party that you can get our human rights back, and you put the worst leader possible as the fucking spokesperson for that party. Like, the guy's a fucking tool. Even worse than the guy named Tool. So yeah, Canada's kind of a shit show. I'm trying not to get too down in the dumps about it, but yeah, to be honest, it's a fucking nightmare. I've lost so many human rights. I think, what is it, 27 out of our 30 human rights I no longer have in Canada. So we're actually going to be doing a show talking to my buddy Robert about that coming up soon. In about 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, probably this week coming up. Yeah, so that's some of the new stuff. Is, yeah, we're going to be talking about world events with Robert, and he's a really good guy. He's one of the first guys I ever did podcasts with, so yeah, big shout out to Robert. It's nice of him. Holy shit, this is selling for 2,000? What the fuck? Yeah, that's the one thing. The Bible, Muhammad's right. The Bible warns that fucking voting is absolutely the worst system you can use to pick a leader. And how does the Bible warn that? It goes on about how, like, there was a vote whether or not to free Jesus or free a murdering rapist. And guess who people voted to free? They voted to set the murderer free. And it's like he went on a murdering spree right after being released. But that's how voting works, right? Like, people are fucking fucked when it comes to voting. And I think it's our human nature, right? Because human nature, how it works, is people pick what they want, not what they need. Like, why the hell would you pick something you need when you could just pick something you want, right? So there's a big difference between what you need and what you want. It's like if you told a child, and you're like, hey, child, what would you rather eat for the rest of your life? Would you rather eat cheesecake or would you rather eat liver? You know what the fucking kid would pick? He'd pick cheesecake and eat it and die, even though liver would keep him alive forever, right? So that's the fuck thing we are in our society. Voting is never going to pick a good leader. Never has, never will. That's why I'm kind of hoping there's actually hope for it, is you look at, what's his name? Manny Pacquiao, the boxer. He's trying to become the leader of the Philippines. And if he actually becomes leader of the Philippines, it'd be neat if he changed the political system, that the only way anyone could become president is to beat him in a boxing match. That's what I was thinking. That'd be the ultimate form of government. if we went back into like the strongest people are the leaders. That's how it really should be. That's how God or the creator intended it all along. Like you look at all the previous generations of leaders that actually did a good job, they came from that, duels to the death. So it's like if you could challenge the king to a duel to the death and win, then you became the new king. But if you couldn't, you're not taking power. I do really believe that is the best way of government. Especially since, like, can you imagine voting and compared to watching a UFC match to the death to choose a leader? I would much rather watch the UFC match. And who knows, maybe Justin Trudeau, he could win a boxing match. He actually trained in boxing, so might be hard to get him out of office, but yeah, that's kind of, I'm hopeful that maybe humanity will switch to that within our lifetimes. Because if we keep voting to elect leaders, we're fucked, man. Like, we've all pretty much established that this whole democracy system is a fucking nightmare. It has done nothing good for our society. Like, you even take some of the countries that have dictators leading them, they're doing better than us. How so? Is they're not having drug cartels fucking control what they're putting into their bodies. So it's like, yeah, it's like if you fucking got some dictator, he'll probably actually look out for his own people better than some fucking capitalist who's just going to sell you out. Fuck, man. As much as I like some parts of capitalism, dear God, other parts are a fucking nightmare. Oh, God. Yeah, we won't try to get too political this episode. Too late. No, so if Muhammad or anyone else hasn't played the game before, you can go around picking up rocks off the ground for free. So there is ways to make money in the game without depositing. You can collect sweat. Here, I'll just show the sweating briefly because I haven't said hi to the sweat community in a while. Oh, that reminds me. There was actually a girl who was doing a sweat or a stream on, was it Twitch? And she was streaming some sweat activity. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Because I love sweating, and I wish like not everyone made fun of sweating. Basically what sweating in the game is you got a weapon that never expires, which is extremely rare. It's the only weapon in this game that you can use that never breaks. So you don't have to pay to repair it, doesn't make you lose money. You can just profit from it over and over again. So that's the gun here. And you come to a place like this, and this is usually where you meet hot babes and other players. Like people that are here collecting sweat. And yeah, I can just collect magic from this creature and then resell it and then make some money without depositing. I think what pisses people off about this is they look at this as like the freeloading or the welfare system in the game. But really, I don't look at it only like that. See, we just got 4 bottles there. And if you collect 1,000 bottles, then you can sell it for about, what is it? I think 2 game dollars. Yeah, that's cool. Where Muhammad's from, he says he has a king and they're doing good, but there's obviously some sort of corruption still. That's what I was thinking, like at least with kings being corrupt, if there's a system where someone can challenge to be the new king, then you should be okay. But if you get a system where the king is in and there's no way to take him out of power, then you'd probably start running into problems, right? I like the Sumerian days. God, when you look at the Sumerian history, some of the king battles they had, oh, it was fucking epic. And there's actually one that was just like the Horus story, or like the obelisk story from Egypt, how he got his private parts cut off. Well, that's what happened in one of the king battles. There was a king, and he was fighting like another person who wanted to become king, and he got his like genitals like mutilated. I shouldn't give too many details, but yeah, they were cut off basically. We won't say how. You can imagine. So anyways, when he cut him off, he couldn't get him back. So, well, how did that go? Oh yeah, and then the guy that I can't remember if it was the winner or the loser. I guess it would have been the loser. He got banished to Mars. So that was weird how like back in Sumerian time they talked about how kings could get like banished to other planets, which makes you wonder like did they actually have some sort of space travel technology back then, or maybe it was just a weird translation of the tablets. So anyways, when that king lived on Mars for like a long time, eventually they built a monument of his face in order to prove that the king was there as like a dedicated thing to that king. And then they eventually did find the face on Mars, but NASA tried to say that it was just naturally occurring. So it wasn't actually carved by people. But you gotta look at like the ancients. They actually had the ability to make nature create things on purpose. So they could be like, hey, mountains, take the form of like a rabbit or something, and the mountain would fucking change and take the shape of a rabbit. So I don't know what kind of magic or technology that was, but it's pretty wild. So yeah, if you're a new player in Entropia and you want to get some free items in the game, you can go around picking up rocks. You can pick up some sweat from these creatures and then resell it. I don't even know how much is sweat selling for these days. If anyone's an Entropia player and they know how much a K of sweat goes for, usually it sells for different prices on different planets. I could ask this person, how much is sweat going for? It seems like they're selling for sweat. Yeah, and always try to be social in Entropia. I know a lot of people play Entropia and they get carried away just doing stuff all by themselves. But you gotta try to remember, it's a social game, MMO, right? We should try to interact with other players. You'll be a lot better off if you do. I know some cases you might meet the wrong players and they'll rip you off or trick you into doing stuff, but I think that's actually pretty rare. In most cases, a lot of the people that play this game are super nice. A lot of them are nerds. A lot of people are like disabled. They can't do stuff in real life, like being in a wheelchair or something, so they'll play Entropia as like their alternative life. So you can meet like a lot of business contacts. Like if you need a job, a lot of times you could just talk to people you meet in Entropia and be like, hey, are you hiring for anything? You'd be surprised how many people will be like, oh yeah, I'm hiring a web developer, or I'm hiring a programmer, or I'm hiring an artist. So if you want to network with other real people, this is an amazing game for that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a bit of red eyes. I was rubbing them and I've been trimming my pot plants for like a week, and anytime I get the resins in my fucking eyes, it stings like hell. Alright, I've been gone. I've been gone from game for months, wondering what sweat sells for. Yeah, so if anyone's wondering how harvest season in Canada went this year, what a fucking shit show. We had the coldest, wettest summer, so you can imagine what that did to our plants. Stunted their growth and made them moldy. I had to harvest my plants like a month early. Fucking buds were like really tiny. And they were already going moldy. I even put umbrellas over them to try to stop them from getting soaked, but it didn't work. So that fucking sucked. But I guess I shouldn't complain, because I know farmers sometimes are growing bread or something actually important. So when that harvest goes to shit, that'd be a lot worse. Sorry, I just need to eat an orange quick to get a little bit of energy. I'm getting a little bit tired of talking. How long have we been streaming? Over an hour? All right, let's do the Vaporizer commercial. I'll eat a couple pieces of orange and we'll be right back. If anyone's wondering what this commercial is, it's the modification device I made for my Vaporizer, and it fits the Extreme Q. The Extreme Q I did not make. It's the actual good vaporizer, one of the best ones you can get for weed. But yeah, mine is an attachment for it. So let's watch the commercial. We'll be right back. And it's not long. It's just like a minute. Right, welcome back, everyone. And it's nice. Daki wrote back to us, and he's got some information. He says people are actually buying sweat for about 1.4. That's actually a really good sweat price. Last time I was here, it was around 1, so it's been going up quite a bit. And yeah, he's trying to sell it for, it looks like 1.5. A few people I noticed were selling for 1.5. So that's what you're looking at. If you come to this planet and you collect 1,000 bottles of sweat, it'll take you about an hour to 2 hours, somewhere in between there, depending how lucky you get. You can tell, like, if you're in a good circle where there's like sweat going really well, you can get it closer to the hour mark. But if you have like a shitty luck and there's not a good team here, you're probably looking at 2 hours. But anyways, that'll give you 1.5 of the dollars in the game. So if you sell, like, if you save up 10k sweat, you're looking at like $15 of the game dollars. So it is very possible to get a start in this game just by collecting the free stuff. I know I shouldn't recommend that because a lot of people are like, oh, you're recommending ways that it's basically like going on welfare in the game. But I just, like, you got to admit, like, if you're depositing money and blowing it on the hunting and the mining and the crafting, you'll just keep losing. So that's why a lot of people are bitter. They're like, hey, I keep losing over and over again, and they get jealous about the people that are actually making money in the game. Me personally, if I was like a new player and I'd never played the game before, I'd play it free for like maybe 3 to 6 months, see how much fun you have. And then if you like the game, I would deposit like, say, $1,000 or $2,000 real money. That might sound like a ridiculous sum. But when you do that, you could buy the game shares, and then the game shares will just keep giving you money each week. So then you could take that money that the game shares give you and spend it on hunting, looting, crafting, because you're just getting it from the shares anyways, and it'll just keep coming and coming. So, sorry, pardon the pun. But anyways, yeah, so that's a good way to do it, because if you ever decide to quit the game, you can just sell the game shares, and usually the game shares always go up in value, so you'll profit just from selling the game shares, and you didn't have to really lose anything because all the money you spent in the game was just coming from the share profits. So that's one way that if you want to like play the game for free, you probably could do it where you just deposit like $100 and buy one deed and then get like, say, like a tiny little bit each week. But I'm just thinking, if you want to have a lot of fun, if you put like $1,000 investment in, you could actually have some pretty high risk gambling activities all funded just from the share. And then, yeah, there is probably always the risk that the shares might drop in value. So when you go to sell them, you lose money that way. But what you could do is just like play it like Bitcoin. Just don't sell it when it's at a low point. The shares are always going up and down in value. So buy low, sell high sort of thing. I know it's easier said than done. All right, so Daki was responding about the sweat, and I was like saying thank you. Next time I come to Cyrene, I'll try to buy some sweat off Daki. So if anyone knows Daki, or if I go to Cyrene and I forget, try to remind me. I got to buy some sweat off this person. They're helping out. Yeah, so where's Mohammed from? Are you from Saudi Arabia? I know I've been watching the Saudi Arabia family for a while. I know a lot of people are like super critical of them, but man, that one Saudi prince, man, I fucking love that guy. He's like totally into video games. He's a little bit too much of a feminist for my liking. He's trying to get equal rights from women, and I know for all countries it's the ideal way to do things, but it is kind of nice to see a culture do everything differently in some spots, so we're not all the same. But I know, like, not to say, like, I don't know, the whole women's rights issue within Islamic culture is kind of like a touchy subject. I don't know, I just look at the voting thing. I think voting in women is like extremely dangerous, because we get men that are dying in wars. So when men are dying in wars, shouldn't their votes actually count more compared to someone who isn't at risk of dying? It's like, that's what I was thinking. Like, if there's a vote coming and you're allowed to like open your borders, a lot of women are be like, sure, open the borders. Why? Because they don't have to go in the army and die defending them, right? So that's one of the things that's like really risky. You're letting people vote that aren't actually at risk of dying in the outcomes of the vote. Not to say women should never be allowed to vote on some things, but when it comes to opening the borders, yeah, I think that's extremely risky. Because a lot of women are just like, sure, open the borders. Why not? I'm not at risk of dying. It's like, yeah, well, fuck, man. If you're getting drafted and you could die from opening these borders, you're like, hey, maybe we should like be a little bit more careful here. But yeah, to each their own. If women are hating that comment, I know a lot of people will hate it. But I'm not trying to be too biased. There's positives and negatives to women in voting. But yeah, anyways, the Saudi prince and the way he works with Neo Geo, is it ever amazing? Like, he's getting into video games. He's starting a new console for Neo Geo. Was supposed to launch this year, and we're only, 2 months left of the year, so I'm hoping it actually launches. No, the one thing I worry about women voting, too, is sometimes they're too smart. No, I'm just kidding. No, you look at the way guys do stuff and women, it is very different, so I don't know. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. The one lady's stream I was watching, she said that you could call in on her show and like discuss stuff, but then she has a list of everything you're allowed to talk about, and I was like, holy fuck, man, that's like a phone book of rules about what you're not allowed to talk about. So I was like, shit, as much as I'd like to call into her show and talk stuff, it's like a lot of my opinions are very like risque and breaking her rules terms, so I was like, I guess I won't be calling into your show because, man, I can't even talk. It's like talking under Nazi rules. I got a whole list of what you're allowed to say. Obviously, some stuff you can't say because you get your channel banned off YouTube, but I don't know. That's the weird thing, right? Like, are you going to get banned off YouTube just by saying that you like some aspects of Islamic culture? Let's hope not. That's how I like all the different cultures around the world. It's nice to see different opinions and how everything works out. Like, if everyone had the same opinion and same culture, how would we ever know what works and what doesn't? We'd all just be stuck doing the same things. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the Saudi royal family because of the whole weapons trade deal. Like, God, has Canada ever gotten ripped off by a lot of bad weapons deals? I think our last bad weapons deal was like $3 billion. And the Saudis took all the weapons and then didn't pay for them. And Canada's just out the money. So yeah, there's definitely some shady stuff going on. Not going to say that everything the Saudi family is doing is great. I think they do some things good and some not so well. Just like anyone else. That's what I love about free speech. Like, people should be allowed to say dumb stuff. I don't understand on YouTube where they're like, hey, you can't ever say anything offensive. It's like, why not? Shouldn't we have examples of things that are good and bad to say? Like, what are we living in? Some sort of society where only smart people or nice people are allowed to speak? It's like, if someone's a cranky old man, shouldn't they be allowed to speak too? Even if what they say is offensive? Like, oh, sorry, you've become a cranky old man. You're not allowed to speak anymore. It's like, what the fuck kind of society is that, right? Yeah, and who knows, maybe to do some extra equality, if women weren't allowed to vote, that men wouldn't be allowed to do some certain things, like choose what happens with babies and abortions. I notice a lot of women get really touchy about that subject. For me, it's always the Magi stuff, like, you know, that cut screen that I got, well, the one in between. Yeah, let's do the cut screen now. We'll give a shout out to the patrons. So this little wing disc symbol guy. Thanks again, Suki, Dan, Jim, Ray, Travis, and everyone else a patron, especially the Entropia patrons. Can't believe some of them are still donating and haven't done episodes in ages, so really big shout out to them. No, that wing disc symbol guy, he actually settles the abortion debate, and some people get really offended by it, but it actually is part of a religion. So if that religion's not even allowed to speak because their beliefs are too offensive, but yeah. No, what their belief was is that winged disc god, he's the one who like punishes people for killing babies. Like, yeah, like he's like super against abortion and stuff. And why? Is because he said like the world breaks down into two forces. It's not good versus evil, because a lot of people could debate, oh, what's good? What's really evil? No, how he breaks it down, he breaks it down into creation and destruction. So you're either a creator or you're a destroyer. So that's why you look at the abortion issue. There's nothing creative about abortion, is there? It's just all destructive. So that's kind of where that religion is like super anti-abortion. And if you're wondering which one it is, it's basically the Farsis or the today's modern magi. Oh yeah, the Zoroastrians. I don't know if the Zoroastrians actually admit that they're like totally anti-abortion in their religion. Maybe they try to sugarcoat it so that they don't get shut down by feminists. But yeah, so maybe that's how we could do a balance in our society. Have it so, yeah, men no longer get to choose about abortions. Well, technically we do have no choice other than to vote to stop it. But yeah, so maybe that's where we could balance it out. Women can release some of their voting rights and in exchange take some of the abortion rights. I don't know, because like even in the Bible it talks about like having the most kids you can is the greatest gift the Creator could ever give someone. So if you start killing babies, that's like goes against the very foundation of like the entire religion. And I get it, like the whole Bill Gates part of it, where he wants everyone to have abortions because they're trying to lower and lower the population. I don't know, you ever see that TED Talk speech he did? He was talking about how he's going to use abortions and these to lower the population as much as possible. So I always thought it neat, right? Like if you're taking injections to improve your health, how is that reducing the population? Very strange thing that he said. Oh yeah, and the fact checkers, they tried to say, oh, that's not what he really meant. And I looked it up. Guess who does the fact checking? Turns out Bill and Gates Melinda Foundation, it's the one that funds the fact checkers. So no wonders they just said that, oh, that's not what he really meant. Yeah, who knows? I'm hoping, like, I don't know if everyone heard the news. Remember how all those memes were going around that everyone was basically staying home during the pandemics and just like having sex all day, and they're expecting like all of a sudden there'd be a huge baby boom? Well, guess what happened? After we took these, Canada set like a 50-year record for the lowest fertility. So the amount of babies that were born from the lockdown just plummeted. So people could argue like, what caused that? Here we got everyone staying home, humping like rabbits, and we didn't have any kids. It's like, that's kind of weird, right? I don't know what else. Maybe they could say that it was just like, oh, people took into consideration the low finances and decided to be responsible and not have kids because they weren't making any good money anymore. That could be it. But I don't know. When people are responsible, that doesn't sound very feasible. All right. Yeah, it'd be interesting to get Ken onto the show because, man, I want to hear some of his opinions about what new is coming to Entropia. We got so many opportunities for new stuff in Entropia. Like, man, can you imagine the game actually being playable on cell phones? It's fucking amazing. Now, I'm just looking here to see what other items that I can sell. We got enough sweating, I think, done for now. Let's go back to the shop and finish setting it up. Or let's go and collect some oil. I haven't collected oil in a while, in case anyone wants to see some of the other places you can get free money in the game. Oh yeah, and if anyone hasn't heard some of the wild stuff that's been going on, not just in Canada, but in North America in general, we got the whole fucking communism thing like growing and growing and growing. And it's so crazy, right? Like North America used to be the one that was like so anti-communist, right? Like, oh, we should never be communist. We should have the free market, capitalism and all this. But yet we keep going further and further down the communist road. So the latest bid of communism in Canada, actually I found out it's not just Canada, but the States is doing it too, is they're giving away more free stuff. You know, like giving away free stuff is like the foundation of communism. Why can I not fly? Oh yeah, it's spacebar. Yeah, so the latest free stuff they're giving away, which anyone who knows about communism knows that there is no such thing as free stuff. when you start giving away stuff and calling it free, what you're basically doing is giving stuff that other people paid for by working and giving it to people that don't try. So it's like, yeah, someone who's like really lazy, just wants to be an alcoholic, spends all their money going to the bars and buying booze or makeup or whatever it is. So I know in some cases people will argue like what it is the max pads are like feminine hygiene products. They're starting to give them away for free. And then there's like a whole bunch of women, I know they got good intentions. They're putting in the comments like, yeah, that's what you should do. We should give away free stuff because what happens if a girl can't get them? And then a lot of people are smart, or not a lot, very few people are smart and putting in the comments, if a woman or a girl is in school and she can't get tampons, the nurse already gives them. So there was no issue about getting free tampons. But what the government did in Canada is they decided to not only have the nurse give them out, but now they're going to start stocking the washrooms filled with free products. So I was like, that's a fucking disaster. You know why? Because I've been a janitor for like close to a decade. You know what's one of the biggest problems that washrooms have and people that operate them is when you stock a washroom with either like toilet paper or paper towels or anything, they all get robbed. Like I even stocked a washroom in like a country club, like some of the richest people in the fucking city. And lo and behold, even in that environment, the washrooms just get everything robbed. All the toilet paper robbed, all the paper towels robbed, all the soap robbed. And so that's where it's like a fucking disaster, right? Like you don't want to start loading washrooms with products because whatever you put in there is getting robbed. And guess how the government's plan is working for putting these free products in the washroom? They gave the contract to the fucking second richest family in all of Canada. So they basically told this family, all right, now you can sell the government tampons for like 100 times the price of what they're actually worth. And we'll just buy infinite amounts of them from you non-stop and just load them in washrooms for people to steal. So I'm like, what the fuck kind of system is that, right? Like, I don't know. If I was in charge of the government and we had to put like feminine hygiene or max pads in washrooms, I'd be like, okay, we're definitely not giving this contract to a fucking billionaire family. What we're going to do is we're going to order the cheapest possible ones from India or from China, whoever makes it for like pennies on the dollar. So at least if we're getting robbed by putting all that shit in there, we're not getting robbed of like really high-end products. Like you can just imagine like the ones that they're going to put in the washroom, it's probably going to be like $10 each. I don't even know how much pads cost. I've luckily never had to buy them for my girlfriend or anything. All my exes would always just buy them on their own. Never got sent to the store. So I don't know how much they cost. But if I had to guess, because it's a woman's product, they probably are super expensive, right? So yeah, the second richest family in Canada, if you haven't heard some of the other scandals that this company that got the contract, they hid $500 million of profits in offshore accounts so that they wouldn't have to pay taxes. Another thing they did is they got Justin Trudeau to give them like $100 million to buy new fridges to protect the environment. And then people are like, oh my God, man, you just gave hundreds of millions of dollars to the richest fucking family in the country to help the environment. It's like, man, if they easily had enough money to buy the fridges themselves. So there's just fucking scandal after scandal after scandal, and now we're fucking feeding the scandal even more. I don't know, I found out the States is doing it also, but I don't know who they gave the contract to. If I had to guess, it's probably some of Biden's relatives. Not to pick on Biden. I know a lot of people pick on Biden because of his dementia, but that's one of the reasons why I like Biden. Like my family and history and everything has had issues with dementia. So when people make fun of people with dementia, it really pisses me off. So yeah, as soon as Trump started making fun of people with dementia, I was like, man, Trump, you're going to fucking lose this election. You know how many families have been ruined by dementia? Or no, I shouldn't say ruined, but faced a lot of challenges because of dementia. You pretty much just lost every one of those people as a voter. And it's fucking hitting like North America really hard. Like, I don't know if other countries are getting the same dementia problems, but there's people like in their 40s and 50s that have dementia so bad that they can't even dress themselves or feed themselves. So it's like a fucking serious health issue. And that almost makes me wonder if Trump actually lost on purpose, because he must have known that when he started making fun of people with like serious medical conditions, that was going to cost him a shitload of votes. Like, I don't care how much of Trump's policies I liked about creating the moon mission and all that. As soon as he started making fun of people with dementia, I was like, fuck that guy, right? Like, what a fucking prick. I know some of the things I liked about him, like trying to get some common sense back in the country and trying to get the moon mission going again, but yeah, he definitely fucked some shit up royally. Well, what leader doesn't, right? Yeah, so that's one of the latest scandals that's been going on in Canada. I can't believe we're taking the route towards communism. I didn't even know much about communism, so it's hard to get the kegs here right now, so we'll take off somewhere else. But this is some of the items you can get here. They're called Motorhead kegs. And this is actually Lemmy from Motorhead. He's passed on now, sadly. But he used to be an avid player of the game, and he helped design this whole level. Well, I think he might have designed the old one. They used to have another place like this, but they updated it. So he probably designed the old one, and the new developers probably made this one. So if anyone wants to give a shout out to Lemmy virtually, you can log on to his Facebook page, help support his music, give him a shout out. Thanks for creating this awesome stuff in the game. So each one of these is basically worth 1 penny of the game money. But if you collect a whole bunch of them, you can sell them for like 200 to 300%. So if you save up, say like $1 worth, and then you go to sell it, you can sell it for $3. That's basically how I sell them. I'll collect a whole bunch of beer kegs and then sell them at my shops. Alright, so let's take off from here. What I'll do before I leave is I'll try to lure out some of the enemies so that so this person who's collecting the kegs, they can get them faster without these deer or enemies stopping them. Here, dear. I think these deer have a really low attack ratio, so I can survive their attacks for a while. And while I walk outside, I'll look on the ground and see if I can find any fruit or stones. See, these guys will kill you in 1 or 2 hits. So when you run out, just beware, they'll kill you very quickly. But it's nice. They often put a lot of good fruit and rocks and stuff you can pick up near them. Oh, we're getting attacked. Right, so while we're dead and respawning, we'll get a quick message from the sponsor.
Today's super offensive comments about other cultures and religions is brought to you by Crack. Crack. It'll fuck you up. Woo!
Welcome back. No, sorry. I know I try to keep toning down the offensive material, but I don't know. For some reason, Entropia is like a show for a game for adults, so I feel like I'm more able to speak my mind without having to censor it for a whole bunch of kids listening. That's the one thing I hate about doing Clone Evolution shows. I end up with like audiences of teenage girls that listen to everything I say that's gross. And I feel really bad after for saying it because I'm like, God, I shouldn't be saying a whole bunch of offensive stuff. All these teenage girls' minds are going to be warped. Man, oh man. But yeah, I'll try to be a better person. All right, let's see. Where are we going next? Oh yeah, noobs. No, Entropia, they used to allow kids to play it, but then they changed it. I'm sure they kept getting hassles from people because it's basically a casino. And if you're letting kids play a casino, that does seem a little immoral. Just a little. Now, if you come to this place, you can collect some oil. We'll see if they have any. It's the gas station. There's a strip club across the street, but I was thinking I probably shouldn't go in there because we already showed enough women's ass in this episode today. Yeah, I'm so hoping that Saudi prince, man, if he gets that new video game console going, like, I don't know, some people might look at the old Neo Geo system and they're like, oh god, that company's so old, they don't even have any good game licenses anymore. But check what the Saudi prince did. He bought up the rights for some of like the best game design companies in the world. So it's like even the company that makes Rockstar, I think, or Grand Theft Auto, I think he bought them. So it's like, yeah, you've got definitely some good games that could be coming to this console. Yeah, see, here's some of the oil barrels. I just picked up 2 already. Same thing, these oil barrels, you can pick them up and sell like a big stack of them, 100 of them or whatever. And then the oil, sadly, doesn't have a good markup compared to the kegs. Like the kegs you could sell for 200 to 300%. The oil's got a small markup of like maybe 105%. So yeah, you're really not going to make much off reselling the oil as far as like increasing the price. But a lot of the vehicles used in the game, well, all of them will use oil. So you can actually use this oil to power the ships that you fly in. So if you want to fly to another planet, you don't actually have to spend all your money to do it. You can go around picking up some free oil and then putting it in the gas tank. Or if you're lazy and you just want to fly faster, you could just buy the oil so you don't have to wait and pick it all up. There's a lot of options they give you. Right, I'm going to go have to move my uncle soon. Yeah, if anyone's been wondering, my uncle's health is definitely not improved. I still got to take him to the washroom like 3-4 times a day. Help carry him there. But the good news is we got some PSWs that are helping more, and some of them are even able to lift my uncle also. So I'm not the only person who can lift him now, which is a big help, because now I'm actually back to work and being able to work like 3-4 days a week. I would increase the workload, but then my uncle's bed sores get worse, so I got to just keep the balance going, where I try to stay home as much as I can to help take care of him, but also get out and get some money again. No, like when it came to the government assistance, they were helping a little bit with that, but I just felt so guilty of taking it. Like even though like I'm pretty much qualified for it all, it just feels sickening to take handouts from the government. Like I'm one of those people, like every penny you get, you should really earn. Taking all these handouts isn't good for your psyche either. It makes you depressed in the long run. I don't know if anyone's heard about the different handouts that occur in Canadian society. Some of them happen, a lot of them happen on First Nations reserves. They're like, oh, we're helping them. But it's like, yeah, if you give all this free stuff so the people lose all their incentive in life, it doesn't always help them. In a lot of cases, it can make you really depressed, become an addict and whatnot. So yeah, as much as I think it's nice to try to help people, sometimes giving people shit for free isn't really the greatest way to help them. It's the same thing with like people that win the lottery. I've seen it happen to my friends and family that won the lottery. Well, not family, but friends. Yes, a few of my friends, their parents won the lottery and they paid off all their debts, thought they would be super happy, but instead they went on spending sprees and bought like Harley Davidson motorcycles and just like spent like crazy, and then they ended up getting divorced because they didn't need each other to help pay off the debts anymore. So that bond that was sort of holding them together was just lost as soon as they won the lottery. Yeah, so it took a happy family and got them divorced. So yeah, winning the lottery isn't always the greatest thing. That's a funny thing. If you ever watched that show, there was a show that tracked people that won the lottery. And I think how it works is if you're already rich and you win the lottery, a lot of cases it won't affect them that badly because they've already been accustomed to like having infinite amounts of money and not needing other people to help them with stuff. So that's one of the weirdest thing with marriages. We always talk about marriage and how we're trying to help families, but then we offer all this free stuff like the communist childcare and daycare and stuff. And what does it do? It breaks up the families. Why? Because the families used to need each other. Like in case with kids, when you're raising kids, if you need a husband or you need a wife to work together to try to raise the kids and look after them, then it bonds the marriage together even stronger. But as soon as you start adding free daycare and all this stuff into it, all of a sudden you don't need your partner anymore. What happens? You get divorced. Not to say that everyone's marriages will end up in a divorce because of daycare, but you'd be surprised how often it happens. Same thing with like spousal support or child support. All these systems that are designed to help, they actually just make things much, much worse. So that's why I was thinking, like, the government, every time they tell me, like, oh, we're going to do something to help make things better, I'm very skeptical of it, because I'm like, holy shit, is this another disaster where they're trying to help, but it's just making it much, much worse? Now, the one thing that got me with the child support and spousal support and stuff is my grandparents from Europe. I used to talk to them about, like, their marriage and stuff. And they often said, like, my grandma would be like, yeah, I would have gotten divorced like 20 years ago, and I wouldn't have needed your grandfather because I could have just got spousal support, or I could have gotten maternity leave, or I could have did all this stuff on my own. I wouldn't have actually needed him. So I'm like, so basically I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for no child support. So that's what I was kind of thinking. It's like, dear God, I'd be dead if I lived in today's society, or I would have never been born. Because their families wouldn't have needed each other. They would have just gotten divorced, and they wouldn't have bothered staying together, having more kids. It's like, what kind of a fucking system did we create? It's fucked. But hey, no, I'm still looking at it, not trying to be super negative. That everything that's turning the opposite really is part of that ancient prophecy where everything is supposed to turn complete shit show. Like the absolute opposite for everything. And when that happens, eventually it'll be like the sand in the hourglass, where eventually the tipping point reaches, where everything drains out and it flips over. So that's where we begin like the next golden age. Nothing triggers a golden age more than like everything just turning into a shit show. So that's why I try to think of it. Everything in Canada that's going full communist, it's actually probably good in a way, because we're starting to forget how bad communism was. So what better way to learn that communism's a disaster than to experience it firsthand? Then we'll be like, oh, that's why it's fucking a shit show. Now, not to make fun of everything communist. I know there's some parts of communism I actually like abolishing the copyrights. If anyone hasn't heard, copyrights and royalties, it all came from the royal family system. And they invented it so that peasants could never raise enough money on their own to overthrow them. So they always tried to keep their people in poverty so that they would never have the resources to actually overthrow them. So getting rid of that copyright system makes a lot of sense. Like, just let people make what they want. Make people have competition again, where if you can make the same product as someone else better and cheaper, so be it, right? None of this, oh, we have to make a royalty system so that the royals can continue to hold power. I know the flip side to that, people that create stuff and they don't want it all stolen and used, but there's the capitalist system for you. The true capitalism is where, yeah, if people can make what you make better and cheaper, why shouldn't they be allowed to? Holy fuck, man, look how many items we're getting. Oil and fruit. Man, the game's like really welcoming me back. I should probably go on a hunting or crafting spree, see if I can hit a jackpot. That'd be sweet. Yeah, so this is a couple of the places that, like Muhammad or anyone else thinking he's trying the game for the first time. You can see I'm collecting quite a bit of variety of free items. Rocks, oil, beer, sweat. Yeah, so there's a good variety of stuff that you can do in this game and actually have fun, where you don't have to start depositing right away. Not to say you should freeload forever and be like a communist, but now I talked to some people from like Eastern European countries who actually still like communism because they thought that it was working decently. So I don't know, there is that side to the argument. I'm surprised, but I have to say it's a lot of the women I noticed that are saying it. Probably because, yeah, communism and child support and maternity leave, it all has like a lot of shit in common. It's taking stuff from people that work and giving it to people that don't. Now, the one thing that kind of fucks me over with communism, the one that everyone should be really afraid of, is, well, not afraid, but concerned, is the whole housing thing. I never realized that communism, on the first page, like they have a list of 10 things that make up the principles of communism. The one that's the most dangerous, and it's like first on the list, is the government takes control of all land and real estate. So they control how much you can rent places for. They control where you live, what size of apartments you're allowed to buy. And basically what they do is they keep making housing smaller and smaller and smaller till you're living in like those Chinese communist houses where it's like a room the size of a closet and you have no room to own any products. So that's one of the ways they do it. Like they say, oh, you can have everything for free. The catch is you live in an apartment where you can't fit anything. You can barely fit your bed, right? So that's the catch. Yeah, you can get everything for free, but you can never move to a bigger apartment. You're always stuck in the same shitty small size apartment with no incentive to ever like move up in the world. So that's where Joe Rogan is right. He's like, I think he's right. Is when you look at the thing that what capitalism did so well is everyone has equal opportunity, or at least some opportunity, to like better themselves. Like if you live in a small shitty apartment, you can try harder. You can try to get a better job, try to get more skills, and then work your way up. So now you like started in a small shitty place, but you can work your way up to like a mansion, right? There's that incentive. Like, hey, if you try, you can do better, right? So that's one of the greatest things that capitalism ever did, is it allowed people to progress. So that's why all of a sudden, like in North America, our society progressed farther and faster than any communist one. Well, arguably Russia came pretty close, and now China's looking to surpass us because we're turning communism and they're turning capitalist. Oh, man. Alright, so I gotta go move my uncle. Let's wrap up some more stuff for the show. We'll do a little bit more sweating and we'll summarize what we're going to be doing next in the game. Affiliate link, patron, sponsor. We did that one. Alright, yeah, let's go with the affiliate links. Alright, so thanks again everyone who helps with Patreon. Society 6, finishing quick is my specialty. Saying that comes on t-shirts and bed sheets, both popular with the ladies. Ido TV pays you to watch videos, Swagbucks to shop, GameKit to play games, and free Bitcoin will even give you free crypto. I know I just made fun of all the free stuff, but see, I try to remain somewhat balanced. I do like some free stuff as long as you have to put an effort to get it. So how it works is they got free Bitcoin wallet, and there's also a link for the BetFury wallet. And their wallet systems, you can put crypto in, and they got loot boxes. So you can open these loot boxes, get some free crypto, and put it in your wallet. And yeah, those little tiny bits of free crypto, obviously it's like minuscule amounts, but they start adding up more and more and more. The more you use it, put it in. Especially if you got referral systems going on your channel, so you get more and more people helping that way. So yeah, you'd be surprised. I think my referral bonuses from the crypto have reached almost like $300 now in total. So yeah, I'm really thankful for everyone who's been helping with that. And oh yeah, and just be careful, they also have casinos. So if you want to take these tiny bits and start gambling them, you can. Just beware, it's extremely hard to win. Most people lose, just like Entropia. So yeah, if you're a gambling addict, stay clear of the fucking free Bitcoin and these wallet systems. But if you want to just keep the wallet system and not use the casino, that's actually what I do. I quit doing the casino stuff because I was just losing. I'm like, fuck it, man. There's no point. Might as well just keep the free stuff. Alright, so what else do we got? Oh yeah, the Virtual Mate sex machine. It's for adults and men only. But if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Just kidding. No, I've actually had some luck getting back into shape with the bout of sobriety for, what is it, September and October so far. I went from 222 pounds and now I'm at about 192. So yeah, I'm getting way down there. Lost like 30 pounds, I think that is. So hopefully, yeah, I'll be back in the action in no time. No, I'm actually even opening an OnlyFans page, but don't get your hopes up, ladies. There's no pictures and nudes yet. I'm trying to get into better shape first. And I figure, hey, if ladies wanted to lose weight, maybe I should post the nudes now so they can throw up. Just kidding. No, I don't encourage throwing up to lose weight. It's not a healthy way to do it. But anyways, yeah, the Virtual Mate, I did get a product from them. All I had to do is send the money. But we do actually have a coupon code now. They sent one for the show. So if you want $10 off on a purchase of 150 or more of Virtual Mate, just put in the letters Lying BS. That's LYNBS BSN. And no, it's not lying bullshit. I don't know if they just sent me a coupon code that happens to sound like that, but it is actually a real coupon code. So you can get the money back on that. And yeah, they also have a cool referral system for that. So everyone who purchases it, really appreciate it. And if I had to guess, we're probably going to be into more severe lockdowns over the winter because the government's firing healthcare workers like crazy right at flu season. So yeah, you can imagine the shit show that's going to cause. So we'll probably be in more lockdowns in no time. Oh, especially if they get the boosters out. Not saying that the boosters cause this, but you know, one of the things I found out. Oh yeah, and I got my website link there too. I was researching like why we didn't have the flu when we had the virus outbreak. And you know why it was? I don't even understand why the media doesn't acknowledge it, because it's like a well-established scientific fact. It's been like known for decades that when you get a flu or you get the cold, you can only get one or the other. You can't actually get both. And why that is when you get like a virus or like something in your system, it goes into your stomach and it takes over your stomach. So it like uses your stomach as a host and then it breeds in there. So that's why antibiotics work. If you take an antibiotic, it goes into your stomach and kills all the bad bacteria. And then you have to take probiotics to reflower it or whatever they call it. So that was one of the weird things is like all we had to do to get rid of the virus is if we had a cold or a flu strain that came out that was more dominant, then it could take over your stomach and then everyone would have that. So that's why when the new virus broke out, all of a sudden the regular flu was gone because it wasn't strong enough to compete with it. It lost the battle and now everyone had that instead of the flu. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be weird if we used like that gain of function research again and made the regular flu slightly stronger but with less symptoms so that we could just wipe out all the cold cases that are causing like the bad pandemic right now. And that's actually one of the things they're looking at in developing new vaccine technology. So I was like, wow, it's like, I don't know why they keep publishing stories. Has anyone seen that story in the media? They're like, why is the flu gone? No one knows why the flu is gone. It's like, well, I don't know. If you understand any of the basics about how viruses and colds work, then you would know that's why it's gone. Because the one that's more dominant takes over. So yeah, hopefully that's good news for the future is if the flu comes back or roaring and just wipes out all the cold viruses, including the one that's causing the pandemic, then yeah, then they'll all be gone for good until the flu gets something that can destroy it. So that's why I'm really worried that the government is like trying to force the new flu things for this, because I'm like, man, if we stop the flu from coming back, that's like one of our only chances of getting the normal back, right? So I don't know, like some people might say, hey, I don't want to get the flu. I'd rather get the virus pandemic thing, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure most people are able to survive the flu, but flu is a bad one for kids. So yeah. They showed the mortality rates in Canada. Oh yeah, the mortality rates for the flu in kids is like 10 times, even 100 times worse than the actual virus that we're having for the pandemic. So that's where we got to be careful. The kids could actually face a lot of issues when it comes to the flu. I don't know if anyone heard the recent study released from the UK. They released, like, you know, the news keeps lying their asses off, saying that like the healthcare system is overrun with people that don't have this. Guess what the rates were? They showed in the UK, 70% of people that died in the intensive care unit were double this. And people that didn't take any of those were only making up 30% of the cases. So I don't know, to me, that sounds like the double this is actually way worse, by like 70% worse, but the only thing, the argument to that, I should say too, try to remain a little less biased, is it could be that most people that took this already had the pre-existing conditions. That's why they were taking this. So that's probably why like 70% more of them were dying compared to people that didn't take any of these. They were probably already super healthy, and that was one of the reasons they didn't, young and strong. So then the cases of them actually dying would be lower because, yeah, they're the super strong age group. So I thought that was wild that the UK actually released the numbers, and it totally said the opposite of what the government's been saying in the media. Oh yeah, so yeah, hopefully everyone's all right. I know like I've already lost some friends and family that died from the lockdowns, and I know some people that are like really badly sick. Luckily, no one I know has died yet from the actual virus, but yeah, so praying for everyone in both situations. I'll try to remain a little impartial about it. Now, I'm sorry if I got too offensive making fun of religions and communists and sexism stuff. I try to remain a little bit non-biased and show both sides of issues. I know we're probably not even allowed to talk about some of the stuff, let alone debate it. Alright, so what do we got more for Entropia content? We're going to get Ken on the show. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to Ken a little bit about communism, because I think he's pro-communist, but he's also pro-making money in Entropia. So I was wondering, like, that's a kind of a conflicting argument, right? Like, can you imagine Entropia brought in full communism? So that would mean that when you like try really hard in the game to collect like all this oil or all these kegs or all these sweat, then the game would just take everything that you've collected and split it up and give it to all the people that just go gambling and crazy, right? Like the people that are losing all their money mining and crafting, they wouldn't have to do any of the work. They would just get all your money that you just tried picking up. So that's one of the things, but hopefully we'll be able to debate with him a little. I don't want to make the whole show a debate, so what we'll do is probably talk a lot about what we're looking forward to, the new changes in Entropia, some of the good and bad that's coming. I'd like to hear more about his crafting, because he talks about how he makes a lot of money crafting, so we'll try to get some information from Ken. Maybe he'll leak some of his secrets, but I don't even think he makes it secret. He's telling people that he makes money crafting, and he tell people how to do it. So I feel like you're a new player and you want to try to make some extra money. Hopefully we'll get Ken on soon and he'll help explain how you can make some money crafting. I used to have ways where you can make money hunting, but then a lot of cases it got banned after I made videos about it. So I don't know if we'll be able to share much more of that. We'll have to find out what happened. Basically what it was is there was a mission on this planet Rocktropia that was extremely profitable. So I kept doing the mission, telling people how to do it. And then the game's like, oh shit, too many people are making money doing that mission. So they started to ban it. So I don't know what's happening with that. Hopefully it's not banned anymore. They found some way to balance it. Because yeah, it was a sweet method. I kept making so much money hunting. It was ridiculous. It wasn't like giant amounts, but at least it was a steady flow of money from hunting, which is kind of hard to do in this game. I don't think there's any other way that you can hunt and actually steadily profit every time. If there is a way, maybe people can put it in the chat. Oh yeah, and if anyone wants to put in the chat or join the Discord and put who they'd like to have me on as a guest. I'm trying to get Raven Jade on. I know she said she's always busy with work. I should try to get Bonnie on the show. I don't know, Bonnie might find a lot of my topics a little bit too risque and might risk her channel and getting it into trouble, but maybe I'll try to tone some of the stuff down so that it won't be super offensive to some people. Yeah, so we might try to get Bonnie on. Oh yeah, that other person who sweats. I think it was McCallie or something like that. So I'll try to get her on. No, it's R or something. I'm thinking another one. But if anyone knows like Entropia players that want to talk Entropia on a stream, just let me know. And you can tell like I don't have a whole bunch of super bad rules about what you're allowed to talk about, other than saying the words that get our channel banned. Obviously you can't say the N word and you can't say the V word. What other words? The C word. But yeah, there's a lot of words that we can't say, I guess. So, well, I guess I'll have to try to set some rules of what we can't say. But I don't know. Other than that, I try to make it open so people can debate even offensive stuff. If you're like pro-Trump or anti-Trump and you want to debate it, or if you're like pro-communism or anti-communism, or you like some parts about religions and other parts you don't like, if you want to discuss any of that kind of stuff, should be okay. And we'll try to keep it more on the game topics, but I know people like the game, and the game bleeds off a bit into real life stuff too. So yeah, we'll try to make the next more shows with actual guests on. Oh yeah, and if anyone's wondering how my podcast has been going, I got a guest on who just blew my fucking mind. Like, I don't know, I didn't really know too much about him. I just like looked up different stuff on YouTube and found out like I like to research ley lines and gravity wells and that sort of thing. So I'm like, hey, I found someone's research on YouTube that just was blowing my mind. So I'm like, hey, let's get him on the show as a guest and we can discuss it. So he came on the show, and guess who he turned out to be? He turned out to be the politician that ran against Arnold Schwarzenegger. So when Schwarzenegger, I guess that was 20 years ago now, when he ran to be governor of California, the guy that ran against him, I actually had him on the show as a guest. And he turned out to be all into the ley lines, and well, he's not big on the gravity well portion of it because I know that's really controversial. But yeah, he found out that there was one ley line, like a straight line, that connects all the September 11th attack sites, like the Pentagon, the Boston Airport, the World Trade Centers. They're all on one straight line, and it happens to be like one of the oldest ancient sacrifice lines. So I didn't even know that ley lines and gravity well lines actually have a history connecting to where people did sacrifices. So I thought that was really weird, and I was like, wait a minute, if these lines connect spots of sacrifice, I should check on other planets and see if there's any clues. So I checked the September 11th line, and guess where it goes? If you put it on Mars, like geographically place the same grid lines on Mars, it lines up with 3 of Mars's biggest volcanoes. So we started to learn like the clues is why the ancient people were doing sacrifices on volcanoes, because they're on these weird sacrifice lines. So that's really some weird material. I'll try not to share too much of it because yeah, human sacrifice topic is definitely one of those ones that throws off a lot of the advertisers on YouTube, which I was surprised. There were actually some advertisers were cool with it. You know, the ones that have like horror material and stuff, they were like, oh yeah, we'll still advertise. So like, okay, if you guys want to advertise on my human sacrifice shows, but you know, I'm technically, just to verify, I'm not actually into human sacrifice. I just research it, sort of like how people research murder mysteries and stuff, and they're not actually murderers. So yeah, that was some of the podcast stuff, and yeah, we've got a whole bunch of other guests lined up for the show. We got one of the developers that programs the Battlefield 2 games, like the Battlefield first-person shooter games. So we'll be getting him on the show soon. And I got some of the microphone issues worked out. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of new wild stuff that's coming. What else did we do? Oh yeah, the Fan Expo videos. I don't have them edited yet, but I did finish one of my new travel vlogs. So if anyone wants to see some of the Stonehenge material from the Stonehenge in Canada, just type in Canada's Stonehenge vlog, and my video should be one of the first to come up. Or just jump into my playlist for vlogs, like travel vlogs. And what it was is I filmed the travel vlog back in 2018, but I never finished editing it because I had a bad runny nose. And I was like, oh fuck man, I don't want to use these runny nose clips. But now we got all these lockdowns. It looks like I might never be able to travel again. I've lost all my human rights. So I just started editing some of my older material and made some new vlogs, and they're doing okay. I think one of them's got like 100 views and I think close to 20 likes. So I was like, shit, that's a pretty good ratio for views to likes, right? It's like, I don't know what that works out to. Like, is that 10%, 20%, something like that? But yeah, there's a decent amount of likes to watch ratio. So if anyone wants to check it out, just beware. I have a runny nose, so there are some parts that are a little bit gross. But yeah, other than that, what else did we get? Oh yeah, I did my review video about my computer. So if anyone wants to see the computer I'm using to stream Entropia, and doing it flawlessly now, or close to flawless as I can get it, I did the review on that. It's called the Legend ABS Gaming Computer by Newegg, or you can just type in or go into my playlists, and I've got one for reviews. So yeah, you can check that out. Oh, and I also started a gaming news channel, so I'm going to start doing gaming news updates, like when, sort of like Pat and Ian's show, when anything big breaking on video games launches, I'll talk about it and offer my debates about it. I know I usually get a lot of dislikes because I have a lot of controversial opinions about gaming stuff as well, not just about politics and religion. But yeah, even with gaming, I tend to rub people the wrong way. But it's getting a lot of interaction in the chat, so I don't mind it too much. If people want to watch it and like it or dislike it, it's cool with me. So we got that covered. So I think, yeah, overall in life, my health is doing better. Found out it was hemorrhoids, so hopefully I don't have stomach cancer. And yeah, what else is there? My Uncle Pete, yeah. Some things are better, some are worse. Entropia. Yeah, I'm looking forward to adding some more shops, or what is it, real estate for sale on my Shopkeeper. So if anyone wants to try something like putting their real estate for sale on my Shopkeeper, and I'll advertise it on the show, yeah, we could probably do that as well. But you just got to beware, right? Like if I happen to croak and I don't ever log into the game again, then your shop would, or real estate would pretty much be gone for good. So yeah, you just got to beware. Unless you actually sell me the property and then I resell it, that's probably the best way, rather than taking the chance of like giving me the stuff and never getting it back. Like you never know, right? Like life is so uncertain. Like you can die tomorrow in a car accident. You really never know. So just beware when you're playing Entropia. Try not to trust your items with other players without actually exchanging money first, because you may never get them back, right? You got to be careful of that. Either scamming or just life in general. It's a very sketchy situation. Alright, so yeah, big thanks to Euros and all the other Entropia viewers have been messaging me, wondering how long it's going to be till the next stream. Holy fuck, it's 10 to 1. I got to move my uncle. Alright, so let's go to the fire screen. Alright, if you happen to get any vibrant sweat in your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. But if it doesn't happen, you can give the show a like. Really appreciate it.
Just make sure.
Never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later. Yeah, have fun in Entropia. Try to remember to play it with other players, not get too isolated. Oh yeah, and congratulations again to Bonnie for that.
Big 10-year anniversary. If you want to get a hold of Bonnie, just make sure to watch her live streams on Twitch. She's got some great content. Oh yeah, make sure to check out Raven Jade stuff. I think Entropia Zine might have canceled, so I'll have to probably take that out of the subscription thing. But yeah, if you want to check out the rest of my links, they're linked below. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. See you later. Yeah, good luck in the game. Hope you're the Hall of Fame.